Thank you for tuning in. In today's video, I'm going to explain and demonstrate the importance and also the benefits of having your car professionally protected by no other than JP Valeting and Detailing. Throughout your vehicle's life, it will be subjected to an unprecedented amount of contamination, from bug splatters as you blast down the motorway, to birds bombing your paintwork after you've just washed it, or even driving over a poorly repaired pothole and tar being flicked up and onto your vehicle's paintwork. All this contamination, plus a lot more, will bond to your vehicle's paintwork and become a part of your vehicle's outer skin. As you can imagine, the colour of the previously mentioned would not be an attractive colour. However, if you regularly clean your car, for example once every 2 to 4 weeks, you will be able to reduce the amount of contamination that bonds to your paintwork. But, if there isn't a silky smooth and protected finish through using a Carnauba wax, polymer sealant or paint coating, then the contamination will begin to build and over time will result in a dulled and faded appearance and ultimately, worst case scenario, damaging your car's paintwork. As you can see in the diagram, and for most vehicles the exterior is made of 4 layers, the lower being the chassis of the car or the metal body panel. Next is the first layer of paint called primer or base coat, the third layer is your vehicle's paint colour, and the fourth is the protective lacquer or clear coat, and above are all the contaminants your vehicle will have to contend with on a daily basis. As we move to the next diagram, you will see an additional layer called protection product. Just like the clear coat, which is designed to protect the paint underneath, the slipperiness of the protection product and the bond it forms against the clear coat results in a hydrophobic surface, reducing contamination from bonding to the clear coat, or makes the removal of contamination much easier whilst carrying out your regular wash. A big problem for vehicles that aren't protected throughout their lives are from the effects of UV rays and acid rain. The effects these two elements have alone on unprotected paintwork will eventually lead to the clear coat becoming dehydrated. The molecules that paint is made up of will begin to fail, and as a result the finish will become duller and duller, causing the paint to fade. This is known as oxidization. Several layers of clear coat would need to be removed through machine polishing to restore the paintwork back to a glossy appearance. This is a viable option, and as you can see in the photo, the paintwork has been restored back to showroom condition. However, due to the clear coat now being thinned out through machine polishing, if the paintwork isn't looked after correctly over the next few years, it will be even more vulnerable to fading. The old saying becomes apparent: prevention is better than cure. I'm going to demonstrate protected paintwork against non-protected so you can visually see the hydrophobic properties in comparison. Please bear in mind this vehicle has been fully decontaminated, including the clay bar stage, so without machine polishing, this paintwork is now as smooth as it possibly can be and completely contaminant free. The left side of the bonnet has received the full protection detail, including full decontamination, pre-wax cleanser and a tough paint sealant. The right has been fully decontaminated but hasn't received the polish and wax. As the water is sprayed onto the panel, you should be able to see a difference of water behaviour from the two sides. Particularly on the left, you should notice the water is beading and sheeting off the paint, whereas on the right the water is almost a clear film covering the paintwork and not rolling off as well. Please note, if the paintwork hadn't been decontaminated, this clear film of water would struggle to remove itself from the paintwork and would remain on the car, over time potentially damaging the clear coat. The question is, how does the paintwork benefit from the hydrophobic properties of using a protection product? Well, the water isn't sitting on top of the paintwork, but instead it's sitting on top of the protection product. This has essentially created a barrier or a shield for your car that will dramatically reduce contamination from being able to touch your paintwork, let alone stick or bond to it, and will also dramatically minimise the effects from UV rays and acid rain. Have you ever noticed bug splats on the front of your car that you just can't remove? Well, if you had a protection product on there, the bugs would be easy to remove. The same goes for when your vehicle is rained on. Did you know rain contains carbonic acid and is the same acid that is found in fizzy drinks? It will factor into the deterioration of your car's paint, and when combined with UV rays from the sun, for example if your car is rained on followed by bright sunshine, these are more than likely going to etch into your paintwork and would require machine polishing to remove. Alternatively, if your vehicle was protected, this wouldn't happen. The rain would remain lifted from the paintwork, and on vertical or curved panels the rain would roll off. It's a very similar effect with bird droppings, although quite a bit more serious. If bird droppings are left too long on paintwork, the acid in the droppings will eventually eat into the clear coat and will leave quite a noticeable patch. The clear coat around the affected area is now vulnerable to peeling and becoming a bigger problem. A worst case scenario would result in needing a respray. A protection product would allow you more time to get round to removing the bird droppings, but more importantly, without the risk of damaging your paintwork. So to sum up why it is important to protect your vehicle, other than the previously mentioned, if you want your vehicle to remain in brand new condition throughout your ownership, then protection for your car is essential. Correctly maintaining the appearance of your vehicle will result you with the highest possible resale value when you eventually come to sell, not forgetting the pride and enjoyment of owning and driving a vehicle that looks like it has just left the showroom. If you are the type that cleans your vehicle yourself, with the protection, you will find the whole process of cleaning your car much more enjoyable and also far more rewarding whilst you maintain that just wax finish. It takes a substantial amount of money to own and run a vehicle nowadays, and for a lot of us, we plan to keep our cars for several years. I have detailed neglected vehicles that are only 2 or 3 years old, and when I return back to the 10-year-old Golf each month that still looks brand new because of its correct maintenance and protection routine, it becomes apparent why protection is so beneficial for your car. I hope you enjoyed the video and found some of the facts interesting, or possibly even learned something. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave a comment below and I will respond. Thank you for watching, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.
I don't know what you want. Let's have a